Emmerdale star Zoe Henry has opened up about the possibility of her character, Rhona Goskirk, ending her marriage to Marlon Dingle. Although the couple share a strong connection, Rhona's loyalty is challenged by her former lover, Graham Foster. Earlier this year, Rhona's life was turned upside down when Graham unexpectedly returned after a 6-year absence, making his presence known in the Dales. Rhona tied the knot with Marlon in 2022, and together they are raising April Windsor. Graham, however, is determined to reignite his relationship with Rhona, and future episodes will show Marlon catching the pair in a private, tender moment. With Marlon and Graham having starkly different temperaments, Rhona finds herself conflicted, and Henry revealed it would be a challenging choice. Marlon provides stability and genuine contentment, the actor said. They share 3 children in a blended family, which makes things complicated. They've endured so much together. Graham, on the other hand, is thrilling, unpredictable, and slightly dangerous, while Marlon, not to diminish him, offers a straightforward and happy life. Choosing him might be the simpler option. Although Rhona and Marlon have been married for only 4 years, their history stretches back to Henry's early days on the show, which makes the decision even harder. She loves Marlon, and their relationship goes back 2 decades, the star explained. When I first appeared, they had a brief affair. Over the years, they've shared so much, including their children. Ivy isn't Marlon's biological child, and April isn't Rhona's by birth, yet Rhona adores her as her own, and Marlon feels the same. Their son Leo is a joy for both of them. They've built so much together. I can't imagine her ever considering leaving, yet she has been thrust back into a situation emotionally identical to 6 years ago. No matter what Rhona decides, it will have major consequences for her relationships. Even if she stays with Marlon, lingering feelings for Graham could create issues down the line. Their foundation will definitely be tested, Henry commented. If you even suspect your partner has been tempted, it affects you. Honesty and clear communication will be crucial. It's about putting everything on the table. If Rhona chooses to pursue Graham, she would be abandoning the family she has nurtured over the years. Her connection with April, in particular, would be deeply affected. The incredible stories April has been part of have cemented Rhona's role, not as a biological mother, but as someone incredibly close to her, said Henry. Leaving that behind would be just as painful as leaving Marlon. And practically speaking, how could Rhona and Graham exist in the village together? It seems nearly impossible. But in soaps, nothing is truly impossible, of course. Emmerdale has revealed that 3 characters are now under suspicion following the shocking hit-and-run involving Marlon Dingle. The popular figure is left seriously injured after being struck while walking along a rural road. The ITV drama announced the intense new plotline earlier this week, with Kane left unconscious and dazed before being discovered by his son Kyle. When the episodes air during the week beginning 6th of April, viewers and village residents will be eager to guess who could have caused the accident. In early spoilers, the show has now identified 3 potential culprits in new preview footage. The first teaser highlights the trio under suspicion: Kerry Wyatt, Jacob Gallagher, and Graham Foster. While none of them may appear to have an obvious motive against Kane, a twist could be on the horizon. Kerry is navigating a marriage breakdown while involved in an affair, Jacob is under immense stress at work with a demanding boss, and Graham is focused on causing trouble for a rival. The clip shows all 3 appearing uneasy, though it's unclear whether their anxiety is related to personal pressures or because one of them hit Kane. A second preview shows the dramatic moment Kyle discovers his father injured on the roadside. He quickly calls for an ambulance, fearing that Kane may not survive his injuries. At the time of the collision, Kane is on a phone call with his wife Moira, with insiders teasing. 1 second he's speaking to Moira, the next he's knocked down and left for dead. That instant changes everything for Kane, adding to the long list of challenges he already faces. But first, the priority is getting him emergency medical care, and quickly, the source added. Emmerdale has announced a major development for Rhona Dingle amid her ongoing prison storyline, though it comes with complications. the character remains behind bars after being wrongly implicated in Celia Daniels' human trafficking scheme. Although viewers know Moira is innocent, she's been charged with the deaths of Celia and Anya Barisha, yet upcoming scenes suggest a partially positive twist for her next week. Her husband Kane, who is also battling cancer, is stunned when Moira reveals that the murder charges against her are likely to be dismissed. However, she is not entirely in the clear, as she still faces accusations of involvement in the trafficking operation due to Celia's manipulations before her death. Can Moira fully prove her innocence despite the odds? Moira appears to have finally had a stroke of luck, with officials acknowledging that she is not responsible for the murders, an insider revealed. The murder accusations always seemed absurd given the weak evidence against her. Unfortunately, Celia worked hard to implicate Moira in the trafficking network before her death, so those remaining charges could be harder to overcome. She still has an uphill battle ahead. Elsewhere, Moira's storyline hints at a slow-burn plan for revenge against Joe Tate, the person responsible for framing her. There are plenty of people seeking revenge on Joe, and that list keeps growing, the insider added. It could set the stage for future drama, but time will tell. It's exciting to see the shift in her story, and it's a refreshing change, very different from what's come before. Emmerdale has revealed a major development that could finally secure Moira Dingle's freedom from prison, and the solution lies hidden on the grounds of Celia Daniels' former farm. The problem is, nobody is aware it's there. Celia, who met her end at the hands of her son, Ray Walters, earlier this year, was buried on land belonging to Butler's farm. Right next to her shallow grave was another, concealing the body of refugee Anya. Ruby Milligan, who was acquainted with Anya, began to suspect something was wrong after a remark from Bear Wolf. She uncovered the grave and alerted the authorities, unaware that they would also discover another body beneath the soil. Because of the bodies found on her property, Moira now faces charges for 2 murders. Yet that is not the only challenge she confronts. A scheme orchestrated by Joe Tate has placed her at risk of being convicted of involvement in modern slavery as well. Joe instructed Robert Sugden to plant ID cards from Celia's house on Butler's property, making it appear as if Moira had ties to the horrors that occurred there. Moira's predicament is worsened by the fact that she has no evidence to prove her innocence, until today's episode changes everything. Paddy Kirk and Marlon Dingle decide to visit Celia's farm in a bid to confront their own demons. Outside the house, a massive pile of furniture awaited, which they proceeded to smash apart in a release of pent-up anger. The episode primarily focused on the 2 men as they reflected on difficult moments in their lives. Paddy was concerned about his upcoming trial, while Marlon worried that his partner might leave him for someone else. During their visit, they also discussed how they had dealt with the situation involving Celia and Ray. While smashing tables and chairs provided a temporary outlet, both men realized that speaking openly about their feelings was far more effective in processing the trauma. As they examined the farm, Marlon noticed a key labeled HSU 107. Since the police had already searched the property, they assumed it was unimportant. However, in central Houghton, the contents of storage unit 107 were revealed. It was filled with documents that could likely clear Moira of all wrongdoing. But with Marlon and Paddy dismissing the key, no one currently has a reason to return to the farm. The question remains, how will the key be discovered? Emmerdale airs weeknights at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.